Every living thing, I mean every living thing, fundamentally wants to survive. It's like rule number one, isn't it? Self-preservation.
Absolutely. It's the bedrock of biology.
Yeah.
Evolution constantly pushes towards staying alive, making copies, defending yourself.
And this is what we're diving into today. Sometimes that instinct just flips. It goes completely backwards. Animals ending up, well, destroying themselves, eating themselves, even exploding.
Yeah, it's a real paradox. We've looked at some cases that really make you question what survival even means sometimes.
So our mission today is to unpack these really bizarre examples where instincts seem to lead directly away from survival.
And a key thing for you listening is to try and distinguish, is this behavior accidental? An instinct firing at the wrong time?
Yeah?
Or is it somehow purposeful, like a sacrifice for the group?
Okay.
We'll see things like brain power or lack of it, the environment, even breeding. They all play a part in these strange outcomes.
All right, let's get into it. Maybe start with the one everyone sort of knows, that image of a snake eating its own tail.
The Ouroboros. It's such a powerful symbol historically. You see it in Egyptian Greek imagery. This idea of the cycle, destruction and rebirth.
The circle of life, yeah. It's a great story.
It is. But when a real snake does this, it's not thinking about reincarnation. It's just lost, confused.
It's not philosophical.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And the evidence points pretty clearly. This happens almost always in captivity. Pet snakes, mostly. It seems to be a stress reaction.
Stress? Like what kind of stress?
Well, it could be a lot of things. Constant noise, maybe being handled too much, maybe it's sick. Or, and this is a big one, the temperature isn't right.
Temperature, because they're cold-blooded, right? Ectotherms.
Exactly. Their whole system depends on the outside temperature. If they get too hot, their metabolism goes into overdrive. They get neurologically scrambled.
So they're kind of woozy, disoriented, and they already don't have great eyesight to begin with.
Precisely. So combine that confusion. Maybe their heat sensors are going wonky because it's too hot. They can actually mistake their own tail, the warmth and movement, for prey.
Oh, wow.
They strike, they start swallowing, and their jaws are built to only really go one way. It's incredibly hard for them to stop once they've started. It's just tragic mistaken identity, really, pushed by outside factors.
So just quickly, if someone listening has a pet snake doing this,
Find the stressor, check the temperature, first and foremost, and gently try to intervene, get the snake to regurgitate before it does serious damage.
okay. So that's an individual failure driven by the environment. But what about when the problem is baked into the social structure itself, like with army ants?
Oh yes, army ants. Talk about following orders.
They use pheromones, right? Chemical trails, basically just a signal saying, follow me.
Super simple, super effective most of the time, but that simplicity is also its downfall. If a group gets separated, loses the main trail, they don't have the cognitive toolkit to stop and think, where should we go?
Instead, they just lock onto the only trail they can detect, which is the ant right in front of them.
Exactly. And then the ant behind them follows them, and so on. They create this closed loop. Each ant lays down more pheromone, reinforcing the circle.
It becomes an ant mill.
That's the term. The instinct, follow the trail, is working perfectly. But the context makes it lethal.
And it just spirals. They can't break out.
You can't. There's no central command saying stop. They just keep getting the chemical message. Walk. So they walk and walk until they literally drop dead from exhaustion.
Walking themselves to death. It's awful. Just perfect, unthinking obedience leading to disaster.
It really challenges that idea of individual survival, doesn't it? For that one ant, the instinct is fatal. But for the colony, it's probably an acceptable loss in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, let's move up the chain a bit. Vertebrates. That same instinct to follow the crowd. It can go wrong there, too. Sheep, for instance. A classic follower.
Well, before we get to sheep specifically, it's worth saying circling isn't always bad. For animals like musk oxen or reindeer even, circling is a defense tactic.
Right, the reindeer cyclone image.
Yeah. They keep the vulnerable ones, the young, in the middle. The spinning mass is meant to confuse predators. It's actually quite clever.
But domestic sheep, they're different. We bred them that way, didn't we?
We did. Over thousands of years, from wild mouflons, we actively selected for sheep that were docile, easy to manage, sheep that would just go along with the flock.
And that strong herding instinct can backfire badly.
Terribly. There are reports, documented cases, of farm sheep just walking in circles, for days sometimes.
Why? Just stress again.
Often, yes. Overcrowding can trigger it. Maybe boredom, lack of stimulation in their environment. It seems like just a few need to start maybe stress leaders.
And the rest just fall in line, because the rule is stick with the group.
Pretty much. That deep-seated instinct kicks in. They're moving, I have to move with them or I'll be vulnerable. They'll keep going until they collapse, unless something physically stops the circle.
There's a grim irony there. They're literally doing what humans spent millennia breeding them to do. Follow without question. Okay, let's look at some other mass events, but in the wild this time, lemmings come to mind.
Right, lemmings, these little rodents in Arctic regions. When their numbers boom, they have to migrate to find food in space. It's essential for survival.
And sometimes they encounter water.
Yes, rivers, lakes, even fjords.
Yeah.
They attempt to swim across, and, well, many don't make it. They drown. It looks like a mass suicide, especially given the numbers involved.
But it's not intentional. And we have to talk about the myth, the idea that they deliberately jump off cliffs.
Yes, that myth needs busting.
Right.
It seems to have been seriously amplified, maybe even started, by a specific nature documentary decades ago.
The one where they faked it.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah.
Reports suggest the filmmakers actually herded the lemmings towards a cliff and pushed them over to get dramatic footage. So those deaths weren't instinct gone wrong. They were tragically caused by humans.
Wow. Okay, so human interference can be a factor. What about whales and dolphins, those mass strandings we hear about?
That's another complex one. Large groups sometimes end up beached, and it can be devastating. The research points to a few main possible culprits, maybe acting together sometimes.
Okay, what?
First, panic. Could be they're fleeing predators like pods of orcas, and in the chaos, they head the wrong way into shallow water.
Makes sense. What else?
Second, navigation problems. And this is where humans might come in again, specifically with sonar, military sonar, geological survey sonar.
How does sonar affect them?
Well, these animals rely heavily on sound, on echolocation to navigate and communicate. Really loud, low-frequency sonar could potentially disorient them, cause physical pain or distress, maybe make them surface too fast or just panic and swim towards land.
And the third idea?
That involves the Earth itself. Changes or anomalies in the planet's magnetic field. Whales seem to use geomagnetic lines like a natural map for migration.
So if the map glitches...
Exactly. If there's a temporary dip or weird fluctuation in the magnetic field near the coast, they might follow a field line that accidentally leads them straight onto a gently sloping beach where they get trapped by the tide.
And like the sheep, it matters who's leading.
Absolutely. Whale pods are often led by one individual. If that leader gets confused by sonar, by a magnetic wobble, whatever, and makes a wrong turn,
The whole pod follows.
the instinct to stay together is incredibly strong. They follow the leader, even if it's leading them to their deaths.
Okay, we've covered accidents, confusion, social instincts going wrong. But you mentioned sometimes it's purposeful.
This is where it gets really fascinating, I think. We're shifting now to animals that seem to self-destruct deliberately for the good of the group. Altruism taken to the extreme.
And we're mostly talking insects here.
Primarily, yes. Where the colony survival is paramount, far outweighing any single individual's life. Take exploding ants.
Exploding ants? Really?
Oh, yes. Certain species have workers that can voluntarily rupture their own bodies.
What?
To release this incredibly sticky, often toxic goo. It's a defensive mechanism called autothysis.
And the goo does what?
It's especially good against other insects or spiders. It traps them instantly. Think of it like a sticky grenade. The trapped intruder starves, or other ants can come and finish it off while it's stuck.
That is intense.
Isn't it? And we see something similar in certain termites, too. They have workers with these special glands, almost like a goo backpack.
Goo backpacks.
Yeah. And in emergency, like if the nest wall is breached, they can release this substance, basically sacrificing themselves to plug the hole or gum up an attacker.
Wow. Is there a pattern to which individuals do this?
Yes, and this is the really interesting part. Studies on some termite species found it's mostly the older workers who perform this explosive sacrifice.
With older ones?
Yeah. They're past their main reproductive years. Their sort of value to the colony's future is lower. So they become the expendable front line, the kamikaze grannies, if you will.
Mm.
It allows the younger, fitter termites to survive and reproduce.
That's incredible. It's like programmed obsolescence for the greater good, a kind of heartwarming sacrifice in a way.
It's pure evolutionary calculus, cost-benefit analysis at the colony level.
Okay, let's wrap up with one we've all probably seen, but maybe haven't fully appreciated the implications of. The honeybee.
Ah, the humble bee sting. So common we barely think about it.
But when you do think about it,
Mm-hmm.
what's actually happening?
Well, the bee's stinger isn't just a smooth needle. It's barbed. like a tiny harpoon, and it's attached directly to the venom sac and other parts of the bee's abdomen.
So when it stings something with thick skin, like us or a bear,
The barbs catch, the stinger gets lodged deep in the skin. When the bee tries to pull away, it can't.
oh no.
The entire structure stinger venom sac, bits of its digestive system, muscles gets ripped out of the bee's body.
So the bee?
The bee dies
Yeah.
pretty quickly from that massive abdominal trauma.
Yeah.
But the venom sac, even detached, keeps pumping venom into the target.
So it's a guaranteed suicide mission.
For stinging mammals, yes. This isn't an accident like the snake. This is a programmed, deliberate act. The sole purpose is to defend the hive, protect the colony's future, even at the cost of its own life.
It's amazing. If bees were rare, we'd probably think this was one of the most incredible behaviors in nature.
Absolutely. And maybe the bigger picture here, connecting all these examples, it's about how specialized instincts, things that evolved to be incredibly successful, can become vulnerabilities.
Right, like the whale's navigation system being fooled by sonar or the ant's perfect following instinct trapping it in a circle.
Exactly. The very thing that makes the instinct strong in one context makes it disastrously weak when the context changes or when the system gets pushed too far.
Survival isn't always straightforward.
Not at all. And sometimes, maybe the ultimate expression of a survival instinct isn't about the individual holding on, but about the individual letting go for the sake of the group. That line between instinct failing and instinct succeeding, it can be incredibly fine.
So what does this all mean for us? We've journeyed through some really strange and sometimes tragic corners of the animal kingdom today. Saw survival instincts go completely off the rails due to stress, simple programming, or environmental shifts.
Thanks for coming along on this deep dive with us.
Yeah, thank you. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe consider what other instincts we rely on, things designed for survival long ago, might sometimes lead us astray in the weird, complex world we live in now.